Okay, so alright, the unbiased Valorant tier list. So I'm waiting for my class. I watched a little bit of VCT this year. I watched comp for like 2 years. So I guess this is the bronze, silver tier list. Not really the overall, just for like bronze, silver rank. Right off the bat, an easy S tier would be Sage. Pretty self-explanatory. You get a heal, you get a wall, you get a slow. Not S, but A. Basics, you can't really complain about, if they have healing. They could fully heal any teammate, which could turn any battle. A D tier, shitty character. Honestly, I want to put Yoru here, but there's probably worse. I'd say, like, overall, playing Astra and Silver and Bronze is you're just overcompensating at that point. Like, no one else here really requires you to, like, really understand a role as deep as you have to with how to be a controller as with Astra. The only problem is, like, most people in Bronze Silver just playing in the free time. They're not really dedicating that much energy or time, or they just have like a shitty understanding of how the game works. A mid tier. So let's see if I get bad. Let's put Vyse for now. Also, I'd put both of these controllers here because 90% of the time you're using your util wrong. It's really negatively affecting your teammates more than it's helping them. If you're gonna go controller, don't play Viper. Like, please. It's worse than Harbor. Like, Harbor just slows you, which is actually worse if you're trying to swing. At least you have all your health. With Viper, you could damage your teammates. You could vulnerable your teammates with your util. I don't really see that many Vipers, but the ones that I do see are good. So I'll probably put this at a B. But if you don't know what you're doing, just picking her for fun, C. So I'll probably put her at like the top of C. And then Harbor, you're 90% of the time you're slowing your teammates. You're not even blocking a decent line of sight that's actually gonna, slow them. Fucking around. But that off chance in like high silver when they figure out, oh, you could use your armored orb to plant and not just fucking use it as like a wall, unbreakable wall, then it's like alright. And then like in comp with Gekko is like really good. If you could throw wingman down, throw harbors down, and you don't even have to enter sight to plant. You just gotta make sure they don't go in the smoke. Next for B tier, I'd probably put someone that's better than Viper to play. I don't want to put another controller. This Clove is also fairly new. I'd say probably Raze. Raze. I mean, overall, picking her is like dog shit. Like, don't pick Raze. If you're gonna pick somebody that clears sight, pick Skye. Please pick Skye. But if you want to play, if you're locked in on playing a duelist and you know what you're doing, she's good. It's really hard to hurt your teammates with her util unless you're like satcheling without like second thought, throwing your satchels and trying to double satchel from anywhere, ruining your teammate's shot, and you're not even looking outside. You're just kind of just floating around. That's the only time she's really like detrimental to the team. Like B, A, and S are like you can't really go wrong with these characters, but you can still not be good. So she's just one of those characters where you can be good, but at worst you're not. Like I don't care if my Raze is bottom fragging as long as they're not rocketing me. I feel like all of these down here, if you're playing them wrong, you're gonna affect your teammate. I can't say how many times I've been in a game where like Astra where she concussions me, or like a game with the Harbor where I'm slowed and I'm trying to swing, and then all of a sudden I can't even get through his wall in time before I'm just dead because you decide to wall up mid, but not even block anybody, just wall up mid. Like it's a Viper wall, but it's not a Viper wall. So it's not as excusable. I feel like there's more thought process when it comes to Viper. Another B tier I'd say would be Reyna though. I'd say she's worse because the Boombot and the Rocket just have so much more. They do it on their own. With Reyna, all your util is very dependent on you. Like you could be a Reyna and get no kills, dead weight the entire time because your util doesn't do anything. Her blinds are the worst in the game. If you're locking Reyna, please at least get like a kill around. And if you're not gonna get a kill, at least go in first. Like just flash in so your team could take space. But if you're not doing either of those and you're not getting kills, Reyna is the character you pick to go and feed, bro. Reyna's the character you pick when you want to ace, when you want to drop 4Ks back to back. You don't pick Reyna and not get kills. Most people in Brian and Silver are not consistently getting kills. Another A tier though, simply because his util is so strong, you can't really go wrong with it. You could use his util wrong, but even if you're throwing his flash wrong, it still creates a sort of scare tactic similar to the Boombot and the Rocket. Once these are in play, once his flash and his wingman are in play, or once her Boombot, Rocket are in play, even his Thrash is in play, all these are just going to change the enemy's perspective. Even if you're trash, no one's just going to be out in the open when someone pops a Thrash or a Rocket. Only difference with Gekko is he has that really strong flash that you can't dodge. You have to shoot his flash to do anything. And then he has probably one of the best mollies. Everybody uses it wrong, but I've seen like one person, like I played against one person that uses mollies like really well, and I was like stuck on Gekko for like a week because I was like, wow, you could really like his mollies are so strong when you, because like I'll explain it more detail when I get to another character with mollies. I want to do another D tier first. Fade. I want to put Yoru here, like I said, but Fade, just don't pick Fade. Like she's been nerfed to hell. She was good when she first dropped. She was good after the second nerf. She's never been buffed. She just keeps getting nerfed. She's not good. There's nothing more to say about it. Like I wish she was good because I like playing her. Like I feel like her util is very unique and it's well rounded for an initiator. Like it's like a mix between Sova, Gekko, and like Deadlock, which are all different roles. Like Gekko's an initiator. Well, no. Sova's an initiator. Gekko's. Honestly, her dogs are worse than her Boombot. Because her Boombot, you just shoot it. Fade, you just shoot it. But it's weaker. When it was stronger, when it was as strong as the Boombot, or it used to be stronger than the Boombot, actually. But when it was as strong as the Boombot, after the first nerf, it was still pretty good. Because the thing about her thing is, if you don't shoot it, like with Razes, you don't have to shoot it. You can kind of move. With Fades, it's gonna notice you, and when it does, you gotta shoot it or you're gonna be blind. You know, being blind by her dog is a guaranteed loss. So it was really strong when it wasn't one bullet to take it out. So she was kind of like a bunch of different characters put into one and made like really strong until they fucking decided they don't want her in comp. They don't want her to be of any use to anybody. They want her to be the least picked character in the game. So I mean, I still play Fade sometimes because her util is still, it's still strong. It's still a strong mix of util. It's not worth it, bro. For my first S tier, I'm just gonna put Brim. Another very self-explanatory. She has the smoking capabilities of Astra, and then like the Molly, and then like the Molly of like Gekko, but better. So it's like Astra smokes when you know how to use them are good. Brim smokes when you don't know how to use them are really good. You just pull up the map and click. You don't. It's kind of similar to Cloves as well. It's just a map. You don't have to go into this like meditation state and like be like out of the battle for a second. You just quickly tap tap. You smoke the fucking site. You smoke the entire site and you get three. But even with his main util, his comment stem is great. It's as strong as Reyna's ult. So for a temporary time, everybody on your team in a certain area shoots their gun and moves as fast as Reyna when she ults, which is so strong when used properly. And you don't have to use it properly because it wears. So really, all you have to do, pull your map, click a few places. You could miss. You could smoke terribly. His smokes are just so good because you can't look through them. When you're in them, it's just smoke everywhere. Click, smoke, and then throw a combat stem. You're rushing site. Your whole team should be rushing site because there's a combat stem. And then you almost guarantee win the gunfight because your gun is shooting 2 times as fast. And you're moving 2 times as fast, so they can't even hit you. He's just super easy. And then his Molly is the best in the game, which is like super overkill. But his Molly is the best in the game. You could do lineups with it. His ult, you don't like if you have a lineup and an ult, you don't even have to be anywhere near site and you guarantee the postman. He's just OP, bro. Okay, this is another newer character. I wish I could say what update this is for ISO. I'd say for ISO, I'd say I kind of want to put him in C, but I don't. He's not C. He's A. He's A. He might be a better. He's not a better pick than Gekko, but he's A. Just his whole gimmick is just enter site, get a kill, and just keep getting kills. Which I can't put anyone in S if their whole gimmick is getting kills. But the difference between Reyna's getting kills and ISO's getting kills is he's protected. his ability is defense oriented. The best offense is a good defense. So the fact that he could tank an op shot and enter sight with a shield that's invincible, and then make people vulnerable to where they're two shot with the Vandal, that's just a crazy stack of abilities. Like he just has a crazy stack of abilities. That's really all there is to it. You can't counter shield. It's impossible to counter shield. The whole thing is you're not allowed. The whole gimmick is you can't do anything about it. You either have to wait or you have to be accurate enough to hit 2 headshots, or you don't have to hit 2 headshots, but you want to be aiming at head level with your first shot, guaranteed. You want your first shot to be a kill shot. His ability is just so good because it makes it so a Vandal peeking with a Vandal on an op is viable. Like you could actually do that with ISO and get away with it. That's actually how he's intended to be played, which is baffling. For team comp, his vulnerables are actually good. When he first came out, no one knew how to like team comp with the vulnerables, but if you use the vulnerables right with your team, you could get like crazy kills. And then the shield isn't amazing. Like the push shield isn't amazing, but it's still an invincible wall. So, it's not useless, I'd say. It's no Jett smoke, and then it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a free kill. It's a free kill, bro. It takes up a whole site. So if you hear any type of footsteps anywhere on attack, use alt and you get a free pick. Unless you're ass, and then you should. I mean, you could be playing duelist and be ass, but in my opinion, if you can't get a kill, you shouldn't be playing duelist. So it's pretty much a free pick with this alt. But speaking of Jett, I also would pick Jett here. Just because she's simple. She's simple but effective. You dash on the site, you smoke site. If you smoke and dash in the smoke, Jeans play. They can't shoot you. Because are you gonna be in the smoke? They don't know. They just know you're on site. So they're kind of fucked. It's kind of a thing where she's just simple. Like once you dash on the site in smoke, you're alive. Your team is behind you. Ideally, you've already done your job. You've already done something for the team. So I mean, the fact that she has updrafts and she can get anywhere in the map, and then she negates all fall damage, so she could literally go anywhere in the map. It's just really good. She's just really good. I mean, I would say she's better than ISO. I would say she's better than Gekko. I would say she's better than Sage. But I know this because I used to main her, so I'm just gonna keep her here. I guess another B for silver and bronze, specifically Chamber, because his gimmick is being able to hit headshots. Bronze and silver is notorious for having the best aim, but the worst game sense and the worst crosshair placement. So if you don't actually know how to aim and you're just lucky with your aim, you should not be playing Chamber. I've been in the games where Chambers literally go like 30 and have hella deaths. They drop 30, so it's excusable. But I've also been in games where Chambers have dropped no kills, like literally 2 kills the whole game, overtime, 2 kills, and just hella deaths. Not even, if you're that type of chamber, you're taking no space. Your util is doing nothing because he's a sentinel. So as soon as he dies, his util is useless. When you throw that little alarm bot and you die, it's gone. But the whole thing with chamber, you have to peek to utilize him. So he's just kind of a bad pick. I kind of want to put him in D. There's no one else in D. Like there's no one else to compare him to right now. He's definitely a worse pick than Harbor. He's almost a better pick than Astra because, like I said, Astra is just so difficult to play. Comparably, Chamber is easier. He's still difficult to play. Okay. Quickly, I'm gonna go over Neon because right now, Neon is the best character in the game. She's insane. She has 2 slides. There's a fucking wall. She has a concuss. She could sprint faster than anybody for like super long. And then on her slides, she has 100% accuracy. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that. You could literally slide into somebody with a Vandal and hit a headshot, a one tap consistently. I don't know what they were thinking. They're nerfing her, and once she's nerfed, I have no idea. She might drop to here. Because the whole gimmick is being able to slide and hit a one tap. Sliding with the Bucky is insane. It's still going to be insane. So she's still going to be somewhere here, I run around with a Bucky. I'm not like looking for crazy clips. I'm sliding around with a fucking Bucky, running around the map, looking for a kill. Literally just looking for a kill. I don't care about sight. I don't care about bomb. I'm just running around sight because I'm fast as shit and no one's gonna hit me in this elo. No one's gonna hit me. And then I just slide into them with a fucking Bucky and they can't hit me. They literally can't touch you. So I'm gonna put her at top of the B because you can be brain dead, but you can't be brain dead, but you can play like shit, if that makes sense. But right now she's here. Overall, she's here. I'll leave her here for the sake of the video, but in reality, she's a B. Post nerf, she's gonna be a B. Now this is a little confusing. This is another definite S. I don't really have to explain this. Her flashes are strong. Her dog is good intel. She could heal, and her ult is good. Like her ult is really good. And she's an initiator. She enters sight, so she could just take a lot of space. It's really fast. So S tier. Okay, I guess I'll put KO in B. Yeah, I put KO in B. I also put Chamber in B, and I'll put Deadlock because Deadlock just again like Fade, except she's just been ass since release. They actually had to buff her, and she's still only okay. In team comp, she's great. So if you're playing her in like a higher rank, good job. You're doing a good thing. But if you're playing her in low rank, you have to get kills. If you don't get kills, you're not really helping that much. I wish she's better than the Harbor though. She's better than the Harbor and Chamber. I can't put her in D. That's wrong. She's better than Harbor and Chamber, but she's still not a great pick. I don't think I could put anyone else in D in good faith besides Killjoy. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Please don't pick Killjoy in my lobby. Can't trust it. There are good Killjoys. The Killjoy loyalists don't hate me because I know you know what you're doing. But most people don't. Most people aren't you. The only reason here. Most people don't just insta pick Killjoy. I randomly see anybody pick Killjoy. She's not a fun character, and that's why it takes a lot of dedication, and that's why she's here. D for dedication. Not because she's trash, just because you have to be overly dedicated to this character, and she's not that good, so I know you're not that dedicated. You can get a few rounds and you can get a few good games in, but until you pop that off, you're not doing much. You're really not. Her mollies are useless unless you vulnerable them, which means you have to use your alarm bot next to your mollies, which really takes away a lot of options for her. Her Uto is useless on own. You just have to stack it in one area. Her turret is good, but you most of the time, most of the time you're just gonna have to alert you when they enter site. You're not really putting it anywhere super genius spots. There aren't really super genius spots for her turrets. Like her setups are they're just not that great compared to Cypher. Did I explain KO? I don't really think I need to. I mean, KO is he has a flash. He has a knife that reveals them and takes away their abilities. He has a flash. He has a really weak nade, so he takes space, but it's not a great amount of space. It's a very gradual and slow and like an ice pick, just chipping away at sight. He's not great, but he's not bad. He's not great though. His ult also makes him as fast as Reyna with his gun, and he gets a second life, but he has to be res, and no one reses in his elo. So his ult is pretty much just you take away their abilities. Their sentinel is useless. You could just freely enter sight, but you still have to chip away. Like you could pop ult and still just get countered because you got swung. Because his flashes aren't great. His flashes got nerfed to hell, and his knife is useless when you pop ult because they're already at 10. You're just using a knife to reveal them, and it's a very big area. So it doesn't really reveal exactly where they are. It just kind of reveals a general area. And if you're pushing sight, that's not helpful. So he's just not a great pick. But like I said, with Cypher, compared to Killjoy setups, his setups are beastly. I want to put him in S, actually. I'm going to put him in S. I don't know why I put him in B. He's S. I don't really need to explain it. They walk into your trip. If you have a smoke next to your trip, they're dead. And you get to do that twice. So it's like if the Cypher's on site, you automatically rotate. If a good Cypher's on site, you don't even get the chance to rotate because his trips are in such weird locations that you're dead before you even realize you're tripped. So it's just, and then he has a cam on top of it, so we can get intel, which Sentinel shouldn't be able to do that, but he can. So he's S. He's probably the worst S, but he's still S. Only reason he has the worst S is because he's a Sentinel and he's very dependent on the psychology. So he's S, but a low S. Another possible S, so I have to put him in A, is Yoru. Now, when I was in bronze, like hard stuck bronze, Yoru was the worst. I hated when someone picked Yoru. I loved it when someone queued as Yoru. I still love it when someone on the enemy team queues Yoru in this rank, because they're not super geniuses that they think they are. I could outsmart a Yoru so easily. Sometimes they get me, most of the time they don't. Most of the time they just spam their util because they have all the flashes in the world, think they got a guaranteed kill. All you have to do is not get flashed. And 90% of the time, a super genius Yoru, quote unquote, is going to just throw a flash before they peek. So all you have to do is wait for them to flash and then swing them before they swing you. It's really not that hard, but I have met some really good Yorus, because if you're a really good Yoru, on post plant, you guarantee the round. You guarantee the round. I still can't do that. Jett can't do that. Only people that can guarantee a round are Gekko and Sage. But Yoru can. But he's not as useful as these two. So I'll put him in A. The higher you go, the lower he falls. Sometimes he's S, but that's only if you're good. No one really plays Yoru. But I'll say in this rank, you can play Yoru. Just know what you're doing. Even if you know what you're doing, there's a specific skill set you need to be good at Yoru. And I don't have it, but I could outsmart Yoru because I understand things. So some people think just because they understand how Yoru's abilities work, they automatically can be good at Yoru. You can't. You got to be good. You got to be really good to have a really good, decent IQ. And then, oh shit, Vyse is gone. I gotta put her right here. I don't know how to thumbnail. See, these are all characters that I like to play. So I don't want to be biased here. I really don't. But there's going to be some bias here. Because I like these characters. They're good, but I like these characters. And these are all characters that take a certain level of skill to really do damage with. Namely Neon, Skye, Brim, all these S tier, obviously. This is the whole point of S tier. But these characters, I can't put them in S because there's some level of skill you need to at least do something with them. But none of them are ass, and none of them really require a lot of effort. But you can be useless, and that's the curveball. Sova, you can be useless, but it's really hard to. Same with Breach. Omen, you could be the most annoying teammate ever as Omen. Same with Phoenix. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to place them. But if I had to put bias aside and rank them based off skill, team play, comp ability, and the skill floor, because all of these characters are kind of, if you're bad with them, you could drop them a tier below. If you're good with them, you could drop a tier up. But with these characters, you could be really bad, or you could be really good. Almost this good, as good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put Phoenix in B, but top of B, purely based off no post buff. Now that he has 2 flashes and he gets them back, if you're not annoying, I'll put you right next to Sage because he's really good. He gets a second life. He gets those flashes. His molly's good. He has a wall. They're all annoying, but assuming your Phoenix is not annoying, they're A tier. You really can't argue that. But like I said, if they don't, automatic D. Automatic D. There's no question. If your Phoenix is just flashing you the whole time, missing his flashes on the enemies, which is really not that hard to do, but just because I like the character and what they're doing with the character, I'll put him in A. Because he's really good. He's really good. Okay, and then they haven't really touched any of these characters recently, like at all. I'll go over initiators because the thing about initiators, you have to take space. And these characters, they just don't take any space except Breach. And that puts Breach right in A, right below Jett, because Jett takes a lot of space. Breach sets up to take a lot of space. And that's really all his kit is. He sets you up to take up space. He can clear corners without having to swing. He's very good, very good. Again, he's very good. Steal floor and D, but skill ceiling and S. So he's an A, but the bottom of A. With Sova, it's a little different. He sets up for taking space, but it's purely intel. It's really hard to be good. I think this is I'll put him at the top of B though. Simply because your util does help your team. You can't necessarily fuck up your dart unless you're shooting it off map, and you can't mess up your drone unless you're droning in the middle of sight. The darts are useless, that's why he's in B, but purely based off the fact that he has so much intel, it paves the way for his team to take space, in a good way. Similar to Breach, but the thing with intel is solely team dependent, very team dependent, so he's in B. And that brings me to Omen. And I'll also do Clove here, because Clove is still fairly new and balanced. Vyse is just new. She hasn't been balanced yet. Clove is new, but balanced. So I'll do smokes. The thing about smokes is you split sight. You don't need to guarantee kills. You just need to make sure you could get the off angle. You can get the trades. You can make that space. Or you can block those angles for your team to take sight. It's all about sight. Since it's about sight, getting on sight, moving around sight, stopping the team from retaking sight with no bias at all. Omen is S. He is. He's the only other S tier that's a controller. He's a controller in S. There's an initiator of S. Neon's also an S. Only duelist in S. Cypher is also an S. The only sentinel in S. I can't put any Omen anywhere but S. Because when played well, he's probably the best character you could play in bronze, in silver. Other than, like, besides the duelists, like Phoenix, like Reyna, like ISO, like Gekko, you're very solo dependent. These are all good picks. But if you're trying to be there for your team, also being able to secure your own rounds, you should play Omen. Because 30 seconds after you use them, all return them. Every time. You could have one smoke and recycle that one smoke every 30 seconds. So you get 4 smokes off one util for free, guaranteed. That's already amazing. It's already amazing. And then on top of that, he can get a second one. So you can smoke twice. They don't recharge at the same time. There's 1 by 1, but you can get 2 smokes. So that adds to a total of 6. 6 every round, which is just on its own, that's comparable to Clove, but Astra doesn't have that, Harbor doesn't have that, Viper doesn't have that, and even Brim doesn't have the ability to recycle smokes. The only people that can recycle smokes is Clove and Omen. And Omen has the precision smokes. Astra is the only other person with precision smoke, but hers are harder to use. Omen's are super easy. He's probably the best smoke to play if you're in Bronze and Silver. His smokes are super easy, and then he could just get around sight. You can smoke and then teleport into smoke. The plays you could make with Omen are really what sets him in S. You could smoke and then teleport into smoke, or you could teleport in the same spot, or you could teleport somewhere completely different, and it's all gonna give them a cue that you teleported, but you're smoking off site, which makes him such a crazy character to play against. He's the only other character that can teleport is Chamber. He could teleport, not a leap, not a dash, a fucking teleport, and Yoru, and we already know Yoru's teleports are his kicker, bro. Yoru's teleports are insane. Omen's aren't as good, but for his smokes and his flashes, they're insane. When you lock all three of his abilities together, they're insane. Like I said though, if you're ass, dog shit ass, he's still a D, which is crazy. He's still a D. You could smoke terribly, you could flash your own team, you could teleport right in enemy lines. But if you're somewhat decent at the game, have decent game sense, Omen is for sure an S. You don't have to be amazing, but he's a for sure S. Dirtiest clips with Omen when I was still dog shit. I'd say playing Omen has helped me so much better at the game, understanding what angles people like to play, what angles people trust, angles people don't even bother looking at. He's just a good character, bro. And that's the reason I left Clove to last, because I wanted to talk about the rechargeable smoke and how OP that is for Omen. But Clove also she has rechargeable smokes, and she can get a second one, which means she has a total of 6 per round. I think I'm right on the math there. I mean, she has 6 smokes per round. The only downside is her abilities. Her abilities help you get kills, making her more like a duelist than anything else. But she has smokes, huge smokes, the biggest smokes in the game, and they're so difficult to play off of because they're so big and you can see through them. But when played well, you have that nade, you have that overdrive that makes you shoot faster and move faster, and then you have a second life. I remember when they first dropped her, she could use her second life when her team was full dead, which made it almost impossible to win post plants 1v1s. But now there's someone else has to be alive, which means she's now more team dependent and less of a duelist, which makes her decent character. She used to be a duelist with smokes, but now she's just a controller that could get a lot of kills, which every character that's dependent on getting kills and finding kills rather than being able to avoid getting killed is automatically going to be in B. I just have to put her in here. I have to. I just have to. For the moment of truth, Vyse. Yes, Vyse. I hope I'm saying that right. I think I am. If I'm not, correct me. But Vyse. The dominatrix herself. I don't really have much to say other than they're just dropping shit. They're making shit up and they're just going for the design. She has a cool aesthetic, a cool theme. She's great. But she's dog shit. She's dog shit. Don't pick her. You'd have a better chance playing Killjoy. Don't pick her. You're useless. She's useless. And it sucks because her ability is dope, but it's useless. You take away their primaries, they can still headshot you with that pistol, 2-shot. They can have a deagle in their back pocket, 1-shot. Her thorns, don't do shit. You just wait. You literally just wait. And you could see them from so far away that they're useless unless you're throwing it at them. And if you're throwing it at them, the range is suck. They know where you are now, and they can shoot it before you activate it because you're a sentinel. There's no genius places you could place them because the way they bounce everywhere when you try and throw them in strategic places. She just sucks, bro. Her flash is terrible. It was cool when it first came out because oh, I can just place this flash. You can't shoot it when it comes out. It's kind of like Gekko's, but you have to set it up. And again, you could see it from so far away. It's useless. It's useless, bro. It's useless. And then there's her wall. Free kill. It's slow. It's delayed. By the time the wall goes up, they're not even in front of the wall anymore. But like the audio cue part, the wall is up. It's invisible. The team can't help that person. One person can sight. But by the time the audio cue activates and the wall visual activates, they're already so far from the wall that it doesn't even guarantee the kill. They're swinging you at that point. It's so useless, bro. I don't know what they were thinking, but the character is new and they're trying to improve them still. I'll keep them in new. It'd be nice to the devs, but she's dog shit.